Yeah. Yeah. Bravo. See, it's important to move, especially if you use your body constantly. Every single day, we use this avatar in every kind of way. And so it would only be wise to utilize this vessel of ours wise and in honor of its upkeep and maintenance. We find, we discover. You're so annoying. Our children. Wonderful. Anywho, so these vessels that we have, we must find our song, our rhythm, our beat, our chemistry so sweet that allows us to enjoy the things that we can create for ourselves that is most beneficial and healthy in taking care of what we have, right? Music for me, poetry so deep, and songs so sweet, and rhythm, beats, for those kind of things move me. And so I find my melody within its rhythm, and I create my song. And understanding and overstanding this comprehending of this every little piece of a thing that I contribute and do, and the active lifestyle that I personally live day to day. Every day, I do physical things. I use this avatar, as do you. Whether you walk to work, drive to work, you are at work, you're stay at home, you have things to do, you have small children, big children, life, everything to take care of, whatever it is for you, right? Requires our mind, body, heart, soul. That's what Enchantress the Babble Spiritual Services is all about. It's incorporating the entirety of the you that goes so deep and finding this connection that is sweet. Alchemy that you can drink up and just be drunk up. Anywho, so this video here, I hope it finds you well, right? And may you loosen the hijab and allow yourself to take in the example. You don't necessarily always have to do to the full extent of what someone else can do if you can't do, or if you're flexible too, or whatever. The idea is for the inspiration, the motivation, the exampling gifted to provide you something to uplift you in betterment for you. I'm a huge advocate of stretch. If there is one activity that I feel that people should do in order to upkeep their system, their avatar, whether they want to be on a diet or some health regimen, or whether they want to be fitness fanatics, or have a sport, especially if you have a sport, and then especially if you have a sport, right? So, or what was I saying? Shh. Seriously, no. I'm not ready. Me neither. The 2 minutes you just took right now to waste to try to convince me to do something that you're more than capable of doing, right? For yourself is the time wasted that you created for yourself. Okay, when I'm in the middle of, okay? Right. No, it's rude. Thank you. Finer tuning into our attention, right? Back to where we need to be. Parenting. So sweet, right? Anywho, so what was I saying to? Give me a moment. With some sage up in here. Anywho, so the disturbance right now brings me to a space of a place of just how easily we can be disrupted in our time, in our space, right? These are our bodies, mind, body, heart, and soul, right? Right? Mind, body, heart, and soul, the upkeep of all of that for ourselves, because it is a necessity in order to operate on these multidimensional lands, and we all meet here in this 3D, man. So I'm a big, huge advocate of stretch and movements. If there is one thing that, if you're not going to at least, live a healthy lifestyle, right, then I'm a big advocate and strong, cheerleader for, in terms of movement, body, stretch forevermore, because it is absolutely necessary. Okay, especially for all that we do. And especially if you're not accustomed to using and utilizing your avatar and your body, operating it from a mindful state of clarity, clear consciousness about your positioning, your movement, your grace, your stance, your posture, your command, right? To be always so attentive to these spaces in between that exist in between everything that we do, right? It's a lot to take in, mind, body, heart, and soul infusion of that kind of alchemical spin, of where we create this environment for ourselves that is in full alignment in all avenues and aspects of our lives, you know, and to be able to operate consciously, mindfully, intentionally, purposefully, consistently in a operation mode of controller, where it's so natural in your movement space, grace. Do you know what I mean? To use proper body mechanics. Oh yeah, there's such a thing as proper body mechanics. Okay, proper body mechanics. One more time. Proper body mechanics in everything. That's what I do. I have in my birth chart strong Virgo, right? And so I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to certain kind of things, and my attention just goes to certain things naturally. I'm very much empath, right? And empath, right? That I feel things so constant. Movement is needed. Fluid, right? Being fluid. So I hope that however this video finds you, that it further inspires you to move. Are you feeling stuck, blocked, coco-blocked? Is someone coco-blocked you? A lot of the times coco-blocks are excuses that we make and create to excuse our lack thereof of something. You know, unless you're in a vegetative state where you cannot physically move, there is no excuse for you not to find the time to move your body too. Especially if you use your body constantly, which you do, no matter what it is that you do. And so it's a beautiful thing to connect in that kind of way. And so may this video have inspired you in some kind of way to move your body. Okay, move your body, stretch. Stretching is so important. I use my hands daily. My hands are so important to the work that I do. I'm a writer. I am physically always active. I do body work. I do energy work. I teach yoga. I use my hands constantly. I write all the time. I'm old school in that department. I still write. Everywhere. I have notes, books in my notes. That's what I do. And so movement is something that I feel people need to be a little bit more awakened on in terms of taking better care of their entire portal system. We have so many dimensions in our entire being that is our body. And so getting to know every part of it and feel every part of it and love every part of you that is sensational, because we are our senses, no? We sense things. We feel things. That's what that means. Feel things so deep, and it's just like, okay. Let me feel my body, heart, mind, soul cooperating together, operating alchemically, harmoniously to create the things for me that is in alignment for me and true co-creating with my universe. Ooh, that's the kind of things that I love to do, you know? Rebirth, kind of earth happening here. Either way, I thank you, each of you, for joining me here. So if you are tuning in, thank you. This one here, I don't even know what I'm gonna call it, my dear, but yeah, movements with our body or something, I don't know. But make sure you're following both of my YouTube channels. Your support is needed. I am trying to actively grow my channel, but one of my channels is being phased out, which is the older one, clearly. But just to be on the uppity up and clear, if you follow both my dears, then you won't miss anything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you know, comment below on anything that resonates with you, mind, body, heart, and soul that you would want to make known. I do read comments. I'm so thankful for all of you that do watch and do comment and do show your support, loving kindness, and you know, and offer me feedback. And those that donate to my channel, I'm very appreciative of you, and those that I do get to work with when you go to my website, enchantressthebabblers.com. You should sign up there too, which is for free. And when you do, you get a lot of, like, you know, awesome, sensational mind, body, heart, and soul alchemy for free, as well as stuff that you would have to invest for you in order to work with me one-on-one too. But on my website is this opportunity for you to, you know, be a part of the things that I do share, you know, that I am divinely guided to create, or whatever it is and however it is that it comes out, because the artist in me is free to express myself as she finds herself divinely guided to express herself as, you know what I mean? So don't box me into one kind of leveling of a kind of activity of a kind of thing, because then that'll be the first blast out of that system that I'll go and just like, well, so your thoughts. Don't box me in anywhere. I don't know. I'd be freelicious everywhere. So yeah, that's the kind of things that happens everywhere, you know. And the leveling of services that I do offer, which are varied and are always constantly changing and updating, and certain types of box times for me, it allows you to go from my scheduling and see and fit it into your scheduling, however it is that you need to be, without having to involve me. The only involvement that I get from that is when you book. I get clocked in, locked in, and then that's the time that you and I will spend, my friends. But until then, like, it kind of simplifies it for me, so that, you know, that's perfect. So, and less involvement with me with that, then, you know, that's why I created my website too, because it took away the craziness of the having to, like, all of a sudden have to, like, schedule numerous appointments for various reasons, like whether it be bodywork, mind work, like, you know, just anything. And yeah, that was the development of that and the evolution of that. Enchantress the Babbler, spiritual services. You know what that means, jelly beans. So yeah, So this is just going to be a movement video with an explanation of the movement video, encouraging you to move your ass because it is healthy, man. Do you know what I mean? And if you want to schedule one-on-one with me, which I do an awesome offer of this mind, body, heart, and soul sessioning, where it is movements, you and I, goddess awakening session for you. Don't get so, thrown off by just goddess. It's universal, unisex, so it doesn't matter. And for 55 minutes of our time, Zoom-licious time from your space and mine, we connect with the divine, moving our bodies and doing a whole lot of see. Go check it out. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to remember to put it in the description box too below, where you could just go directly to the link to read all about that offer, which is an offer of affordability, and also where it's all inclusive 2-for-1 deal. So meaning you and a friend, you and a mate, you and whatever, whatever the case may be, you can book for 2, and then that can also, if you did it with a friend, that's divided by 2, making the entire thing, which I think is like $55, right? Divided by 2. How much does that leave for each of you? You know what I mean? And one-on-one time with me, and it's a fun session. You know what I mean? So connecting with the movement, going according to your speed, your need, your evolvement, what it is that you want from the session. So I love individualizing every single session with everyone that I work with, because each of you are unique all on your own. For me to go and try to care for each and every one of you the same as I care for each and every one of you is ridiculous, redonkulous, which goes with our medical system, going under a diagnostic, but just let's put them in this category kind of thing. Even if they got a little bit different kind of things, let's pull these kind of strings and just make it that kind of thing. Out of here with that. All right, so anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Also, make sure to show some love and follow my blog, which is my baby, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. enchantressbabble.com also has a blog there too that I'm working on growing too, so subscribe there. You can subscribe for free. There's also subscriptions there, if you know what I mean. There's some deeper level kind of connecting guidance. It is so affordable, you'll see. Anyways, this wasn't meant to be that kind of thing. Movement. Move your ass. Right? Here we are. Oh, so before I hit record, I'm just trying to, I know I'm doing a closing statement too, right? This is the card that came out from this. I am one half of my message. Other people are the other half, right? Other people are the other half. And then in the back, it says, I'm responsible for what I say, but I'm not responsible for what people understand. Other people are responsible for what they understand. They are the ones who give meaning to every word they hear. Right? Mirror, mirror on the wall, what do you hear after all? Okay, your perception is your reality, not necessarily mine. Even if you were right to get it right intuitively or whatever, say whatever it is that you need to say, whether you're right or wrong in any kind of way, still your perception is your own inner reflection about whatever it is that you perceive to receive from whatever it is that you think you see. You know what I mean? I know, it can sound so confusing, but let's just, bear in mind, let's be a little bit more compassionate with one another at this turning time, because there's a lot of things that are going on, right, that are transiting, because we're always transiting, you know what I mean, because it's that kind of thing, to transit in that kind of way, right? But you have, our own energies, inner energies too at work here, right? So it's like inner divine, intertwine, and then we got the external environment matching, right, the inner dynamics of whatever it is that's going on inside. So it's highly reflective of that kind of development. If you wanted to understand, overstand, it's just your own stance, so that you can get less combative and more just, see what that is. Let me detach from that, because I see what that is. No need to further explore, just be the example all the more, and do whatever it is that you need to do that is righteous, in alignment with you, right? Like speaking your truth too, but in, you know, a diplomatic kind of way, or, you know, in some kind of way that you just like kind of pull in your stance, like not being overly dramatic or spiteful or bitter or any kind of tainted seed, but doing what's the best thing, righteous thing for you. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like even the interruption from before, some other time ago, I would have paused what it was that I was doing to overly comply to do what it is that's outside of my time, you know, and then to misalign in that kind of right where it's like, whoa, hold up. Co-creating my universe is what? Me? So no. Hold up. Let me do what's righteous for me, because when I'm right, then all is right, right? When you misalign and you do something that's outside of what it is that you don't feel like to do, you don't need to feel bad. That would go in the energies of the emotional manipulation kind of thing, that you could even self-sabotage and feel that way towards yourself because you're feeling like you're supposed to, the state of expectancy of having to do certain kind of things or be responsible for the way that others perceive what it is that you are saying. So then you want to find the articulation that is righteous for you to speak in your clear kind of vibe way, the same way that for her entertain, like I answered in my kind of right fine way. And when I played that back in my own timeline and I go and I'm like, you know, when the emotional manipulation of that self-sabotaging conditioning, behaviorism, right, patterns that we're breaking, right, because it's being able to identify the things that would keep you outside of your align. And sometimes your mind likes to play fucking games with you, right? It likes to go in and it likes to like misconstrue a lot of the things too, and depending later on when you have a little more free time where you're not trying to do a whole bunch of things all at one time and you're just like here in your room, or let's say, you know, about to go to sleep, and all the things, all the conversations that you had along your day want to play its game, right? Your conditioned ways, your behavioral, your pattern ways of being or thinking or whatever. This is your opportunity now to see, abstract, you see what is happening here, and allows you to now better navigate so you can transmute that energy by identifying that energy. When you identify it, you're able to transmute it. That's just what it is, right? So it's not about, ooh, you, I want to fight with you too, let's box. No. I want to align with you best so I can live my life best, the best that I want it to be for me, in greatness and good for my whole. Oh, yes, which goes and grants for the whole, you know, to like go in that kind of way and just allow for that. But you got to be discerning in every kind of way. And it takes a leveling of, don't take it personal. I just want to be all alone when you think of. Don't take it personal. I gotta assess the situation myself. Just the other day, I remember I said something. I asked a direct, blunt question to someone, and they responded. Now, the distorted me, right? The one that's still, you know, these are the energies. You know, we have that from our conditioning or from our PTSD kind of life. I got a lot of that in my kind of life too. So intuitive I might be, but ooh. Especially when it's personally involving me, I can see for everybody. But when it comes to myself and I'm emotionally involved, oh, child, things couldn't be any more twisted. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you want to be aligned, you see, right? So someone answered pretty fast too in their response system to my question, to my answer, and then we continued the conversation. But I was still in my deliberation. And that person intuitive too was like, hey, what's up with you? And I'm like, I'm just processing, dude. Just processing. And that person was like, okay. Because like minds, harmonious in that kind of way that are triggering one another. Granted, because it happens in that kind of way. We all are here to be each other's teacher-student kind of dynamic scenario. It's not no one better than the other. Like, you know, it just is what it freaking is. Right? So those kind of dynamics. And harmonious to have, and like, oh, okay, thank you for that allowance, because you understand what's happening, man. Like, we're now attacking the toxic, right? Or the shadow, or the parts of ourselves that might not operate in the most healthiest of states, right? Or you're now practicing, if it's not in that scenario because you already surpassed that scenario, or practicing now the proper discernment for your own personal reality, right? Not now seeing what we want to see, right? Because this is part of our PTSD, or just our learning experience. Like, last time I gave somebody the benefit of the doubt when I knew better, and I should know better, and then I learned better, and I should have known fucking better, and now look it, you were right all along, blah, 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 singing that song. So now is this that? Or is this something else, right? So, like, you're like, hold up. I don't know what to believe, Spirit. I hear you. Or is that the voice inside of me that says, stab him? You know what I mean? He's lying. Or is that distortion of your own reality? So it's like the discerning. Let me see. Let me dissect this, please. How do I feel within so deep, and getting in tune with that kind of stuff, right? So it's like the same thing of the I am only half of my message, other people are the other half. Now, finding that proper articulation. You see, in all those articulations, if I was to go into the still of the nights, when I meet with Enchantress the Babbler by myself, I mean, we're going through this now. How are we receiving this now? What state of mind do we want to get into at this time? Oh, let me jump out of my hive so I can see. Detached emotionally, I shall be. To be able to see with such clarity the abstract that's here to display. So I'm going to remove my emotions in any kind of way, because I'm not going to take things personal. I'm just observing, like, going through. I'm learning the lessons too. I'm not exempt from any of that, right? So we want to use these times to discern lies, right? So if I was to play back my sense and structure, my energy, my stance, my placement of what it was that I expressed and said, in not any kind of combative way, but in a wise, discerning kind of way, hey, I'm processing. I don't know how I feel about that right now. Honest as can be. Which got rolled over because I processed, you see, in a healthy manner, allowing me to dissect that as I need, right? So, wow. Hold on, I lost sight on the video. What the vegetables? What did that happen? This happened another time before, but I was like in the middle of like saying something. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, why does this? Got it. Anyways, so weird. Anyway, so yeah, so it's about just, you know, aligning in the truth and aligning yourself. It's the same way that I spoke to my to my to my to my daughter when she was in my room at my time, using my facilities and my things for her thing, when she can do her own thing and her own stuff in her own world, and then want to involve me in your world, like, you know, and disrupt what it is I'm doing. And then, you know, I could have answered in any which way, or got upset, or like, you know, disengaged from whatever it is, even though I lost my place and my space and whatever it was that I was trying to say, right? So again, that kind of like elevate the element mind. I paused it even for just a moment in time, and I was just like, hold up, let me get into my space and my thing. And that was very kind. So, you know what I mean? So finding that alchemy of speech, right? To be so I'm clear about the articulation of whatever it is that I'm communicating. And if I'm not clear, then I'm not communicating. You get what I'm saying? Learning to be disciplined in what it is that we are designing, right? We're co-creating. We are masterful in our alchemy and whatever it is that we're creating. You see the dynamics of that energy, right, pulsating, because we are creating that. Bueno, right? Well, okay. So this is that, and that is this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. I was uncomfortable when I was telling her to get out from my rooms when I was trying to record in the beginning. So she's like, I'm gonna be here another 20 minutes, and that was the capacity, right? To cut in, right? So you're just like, child, what? You're kidding? What? You're making shit lighter as a feather. Yeah. No, I'm thankful. I got some more stuff because I went into this enchanted meadow. But yeah. Right. Anyways. Yeah, so like that, hit that, subscribe that, support that, be kind to that, whatever. But either way, channeling better. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I kind of like this angling too because it allowed you to see a lot of the arm stuff too. I work a lot with my hands and my arms and stuff like that. So if you use your hands, especially if you do any kind of physical things or just you create things, you're an artist too, you write, you paint, you whatever the case may be, you need to take excellent care of your hands and your arms and your shoulders and all that kind of environment, the positivity and just the aligning and the circulation and stuff like that. So master in that all of my life I've just always been into, I mean my dad was a heavy martial artist and heavy in the 80s, like 80s early 90s. I was a martial art fanatic at that time, like Bruce Lee, you know, John Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, all those kind of things. And so my specialty was design, and especially I was very athletic and very sporty at that time too. To master being a ninja ballerina because I love music. So all my life I've been mastering being a ninja, right? Wow. And a ballerina. So yeah, and in that, you know, I studied, you know, occupational therapy, massage therapy, and you know, yoga training and all that kind of stuff. So and just stretch master, and that's the kind of things that I do. And you're pretty. She looks so pretty. She's so pretty. You look so pretty. Anyway, gotta go. Now you know.